right, happy Friday, everyone. We're going to do an all keys training from the Chord Academy, which we're on week number 9 already. Can't believe it. But let's dig in and let's do 2-5-1 in all keys. And the movement for today is D minor 9 to G7, which G13 with a flat 9, and then C major 9. We've been doing this really neat gospel loop this week, but we're going to take this one chord voicing that is in our weekly folder for this week, and we're going to do a flat 9 of the 13, and then we're going to go C major. So we've been doing minor 9s and major 9s this week, as well as some really cool chords that go with this gospel loop. But let's go ahead and do the first one is D minor 9. You have the formula of root, flat 7, flat 3, 5, and 9 of whatever key you're in. And then what we're going to do is this D minor 9, and all you're going to do is go to G7 or G13 with a flat 9. So notice that I was here at D minor 9, and then my index finger goes down by a half step, and my chord in the left hand goes up 4 notes. So to get to the 2 to 5, you go up 4 notes, D, E, F, G. And I'm just doing a G and a B. Now if you want, you can play a 10th if you can reach that. But really, I like the sort of the closed inside voicing here of just doing G, B. There's no really need to stretch out and do that if you don't want to do that. So D minor 9 to G13, that's 2, 5. And then we're going to 1, and the formula for 1 is root, major 7, 3, 5, and 9. And we can call that a 9 on top because we have the major 7 and we're stacking notes on top. So D minor 9, go to a G13, so 2, 5 in the key of C to 1. And in my left hand, notice that I'm doing root and major 7. We've been talking about that this week, that you have root and your octave there, octave C up to C, and to get the major 7, you just go down a half step. To do a flat 7, you go down a whole step. So here we go, one more time, and then we'll transpose this. D minor 9, really nice chord. Go down just with my index finger, and then go G and B, which is the root and the third of the 5 chord, which is G7, G13, flat 9, and now a C major 9. That's root of a C scale, major 7, third, 5, and 9. Now something really nice happens here. If you're right here on C major 9, and if you go down with the bottom 2 notes, the bottom note of your left hand, or your right hand, goes down a half step. Now you're at the minor of C minor, and go down with your thumb down a half step. So here to here, and it turns into C minor 9, C major 9, and now C minor 9, just by moving those inner voicings down. And now I have root, flat 7, flat 3 of C major, 5, and 9. Call that a 9 because that's my flat 7, stacking notes on top. So first we did 2, 5, 1 in C, and then by moving these inner voicings, now we're doing 2, 5, 1 in B flat. So we're already set up for C minor 9, and then my index finger goes down a half step, and then I go C, D, E, F. So 5 is F and A, and then I'm going to do B flat major 9, which is root, major 7, 3, 5, and 9 of a B flat major scale. B flat usually has 2 flats, B flat and E flat, and there's our formula. That's our voicing left to right, root, 7, 3, 5, and 9. So let me put those 2 together. D minor 9, G13, flat 9, C major 9. Now watch the inner voicings go down, thumbs go down a half step, C minor 9, index finger goes down, B flat major 9. Now watch what happens. Thumbs go down a half step, B flat minor 9, index finger goes down, and then we have root major 7, 3, 5, and 9 of A flat major. Thumbs go down, index finger goes down, go to D flat and F, and then we're at G flat major 9. Thumbs go down a half step, F sharp minor 9, index finger goes down, left hand goes to B and D sharp, and then E major 9, root of E scale, major 7, 3, 5, and 9. I'm going to come up the octave. Thumbs go down, E minor 9, root, flat 7, 3, 5, and 9 of E major. Index finger goes down, and A and C sharp, and then D major 9. Root, major 7, 3, 5, and 9 of D major. If you do it one more time, you're back where you started. So that takes care of half of the keys. Let's do that again very slowly. D minor 9, index finger goes down, and then our formula is root, major 7, 3, 5, 9. Thumbs go down, index finger goes down, F and A, and then B flat major 9. B flat, A, D, F, C. Thumbs go down, B flat minor 9, index finger goes down, and A flat minor 9. A flat, G, C, E flat, B flat. Thumbs go down, A flat minor 9, index finger goes down, and now we're at G flat major 9. I'll go up the octave here. Now thumbs go down, F sharp minor 9, index finger goes down, E major 9. Thumbs go down, E minor 9, index finger goes down, and D major 9. And if you did it again, you would start over. But what we're going to do to cover the rest of the keys is actually start on C sharp minor 9. C sharp minor 9, index finger goes down. Now we're at F sharp and A sharp. And then we do B major 9. That's root of a B scale, major 7, 3, 5, and 9. If my thumbs go down, B minor 9, index finger goes down, go to E and G sharp, and then A major 9. Root of an A scale, major 7, 3, 5, and 9. Thumbs go down, A minor 9, index finger goes down, G major 9, I'll go up the octave. Thumbs go down, G minor 9, index finger goes down, and F major 9. Thumbs go down, F minor 9, index finger goes down, B flat D, E flat major 9. That's root of an E scale, E flat scale, major 7, 3, 5, and 9. Thumbs go down, E flat minor 9, index finger goes down, A flat and C, and then D flat major 9. That's root of a D scale, the major 7, the 3, the 5, and the 9. Thumbs go down, C sharp, we're back where we started. Thumbs go down. Thumbs go down. Thumbs go down. Thumbs go down. And then it starts over again. Go back to C. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. We have 4 people watching. Nobody has said hello in the chat yet, but I do want you guys to know, if anybody's watching who's not a member of our Chord Academy, we are growing. It's a lot of fun. I do 2 different lessons, 2 30-minute lessons. What's up, Rick? Rick, how was the gym today? Did you make it to the gym? This is the gym for piano. So we have a chord academy every morning. Well, I say every morning, Tuesday morning, every Tuesday, and every Friday. And it's a 30-minute, which ends up being between 40 and 45 minutes. And we do chords. We're on week 9 already. It's been amazing. Awesome. That's great, Rick. But it's really a lot of fun. We're doing some really cool gospel type things, jazz things, even blues chords, and we keep building on things week after week. And we're coming up on week 10. Well, we have week 9 next week, and we're going to finish the loop that we do, which is a fun little loop. Actually, the loop is 1 to 4, and then we do... And we're going to finish that loop. But in addition to that, we're doing, in 2 weeks, we're doing I See Clearly Now. So I can see clearly now. So all the voicings we've been doing, but in the key of C as it relates to the key of C. So that's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to be a part of this growing community, it's literally like you're investing 1 coffee a month with me, and that's exactly what it is for right now. And it ends up being like $19.99 a month. Rick is a member, and we probably have 22 people maybe that are in it now. Somebody signed up yesterday, but I'm really going all out to try to make this really nice, and it's a really fun community. And we have several people that have been a part of the Chord Academy and have made the switch to be in the overall academy, which is blues jazz. And those streams are Monday and Thursday, and everyone has access to all of my courses as well as the entire community. But Chord Academy, if you want something that's really in depth and a great deal for the money, it's Chord Academy is over the top good. So let's finish up by just talking about a couple of things that we did this morning. So this morning, Rick knows that we're on the 3rd piece of the loop, right? You have that is the G minor, and we did G minor 9. So I just demonstrated a really important thing, is that just by swapping these out, you have G minor 9 and G major 9. So creating the loop that I just did, it shows you exactly how to do that. And isn't that even a neat sound? If I do D minor 9, and I go, oh, let's hear what D major 9 sounds like. So now we're putting this stuff in the context of moving around what we call the cycle, D up to G, up to C, up to F, and you hear the cycle going around. So now we're putting this in the context of 2/5. But another thing that I did, and I really spent some time this afternoon going over this idea of we can also do this in minor too, and we can even do this or this, right? And so I've created, even since this morning, a whole new set of things that we're going to be covering in the Chord Academy, just bonus material from this morning's lesson. And so I have that, and then I also did some really nice 1-6-2-5 things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, since this is live, since it's a Friday, my hope is that somebody's going to take me up on it. There's a link in the description of if anybody wants to sign up, and it is literally a reoccurring thing. Once a month, it's $19.99, but you get so much material, it's ridiculous. All of these crazy chord voicings, all of the sheet music, all of the replays, it's all there. And Marla signed up, and Rick's been with us for the beginning. So Rick, if you're still on, you can tell everybody how fun the community is. And what I'm going to do is, because I'm in the mood to practice this stuff, I'm going to do this one more time. And I'm going to pretend as if I'm doing a Chord Academy lesson or just working with a student. And I'm just going to do very simple things. I'm going to take this 2-5-1, which is the most common progression in jazz, and I'm going to do it one more time. I'm just going to play through this stuff. What I tell my beginners as well as my advanced players is that repetition is your friend. Like, we're doing this stuff, and you'll start to notice that it gets easier, even if you don't know your major scales yet. You may start and you say, all right, I'm going to learn 2-5-1 in C, and you learn these notes. And then I teach you this. Every time you're working on a chord, you're spelling that particular key. So we have what we call chord formulas. And a chord formula is this. Like, for instance, you always do left to right as if you were reading something, and you say root, flat 7, flat 3, 5, and 9. And so the formula is left to right. You have these numbers, root of a D scale. There's my root. There's the flat 7. Well, how do you get to a flat 7? There's your octave. There's your major 7. There's your flat 7. There's your flat third. D major has 2 sharps. Excuse me. You have F sharp and C sharp. That's the flat third, that's the 5th, and that's the 9th. The reason we can call that a 9th of a D scale is because we have the flat 7. We're stacking notes on top. So as we go through each particular chord, and I play this, and now I play G13 flat 9, now I have to relate my chord to the G major scale. Root, third, flat 7, flat 9, and 13. That's just a brief overview of how we spell chords, but it is a process to learn how to do it. And then when I play the last chord, the 2, 5, and 1, which is C major, you just know that that's the root of C major scale. The major 7, that's an octave, that's a major 7, that's the 3rd, the 5th, and the 9th. So every time you spell a chord, you're always thinking of that major scale. So this is D minor, I think of the formula in D major. Here I'm thinking of the formula in G major, and then here I'm thinking of the formula in C major. Okay, here I go. I'm going to start practicing this, and if you have any questions or anything, or just like to comment, you could say something in the chat, and you could keep Rick company while he's listening to this. Awesome, Rick. I'm glad you're in our chord community, and there is a link for anybody who wants to join us. Take me up on it, and I promise you, you'll have a great experience. All right, here we go. Root, flat 7, flat 3, 5, and 9. And I like to say it out loud. I like to say what I'm doing. I like to, if you practice saying it out loud, it helps you remember everything. And also, if you're going to teach somebody else how to do it, you would be able to say, oh, root, flat 7, flat 3, 5, and 9. And it really helps with transposition. So 2, 5 is G13 flat 9, root, 3rd, flat 7, flat 9, and 13. C major 9, so root, 7, 3, 5, 9. Okay, I'll just play and practice now, because I already went through it and I said every formula in every key. But now let's just do some practicing. So 2, 5, 1 in C. Sometimes I like to roll the chords. Sometimes I like to play them straight, like. Thumbs go down, now I change key. Okay, let's go ahead and do now. If you go down 2-5-1 and you go down in whole steps, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it starts over. So we need to do the other 6 keys in whole steps. C sharp. Yeah, awesome, Rick. I'm glad that you like it. It really does help you see it, doesn't it, when you do that? Now, Rick, what you have to look forward to, I'm going to write those out as well. But another fun thing is if you do minor, just how interesting it sounds. If I'm here and I say, all right, D half diminished. So I had this idea. Instead of fully diminished, you have half diminished. And I'm going to go. And I could go G. So voice leading. That's our G7 with our flat 9 and flat 13. And then I have options here. I can go, I could go minor. I could go with the A, or I could go major 7. Let's do it again. That's C minor with the major 7 or the minor 6. Which one do you like better, Rick? You have both sound good to me. Major that time. I did half diminished. And I could go major. So a couple of things you can do is if you have this D half diminished, and then you go to G13 with a flat 9 and the flat 13, this right here. That sounds great, but you can technically also add that in there, or I could go flat 5. I could go, I'm sorry, I could go, and then here I could go, hey, Rick. What's up, Max? I'll answer your question in just a second. So something I was playing reminded me of a tune. Does anybody know what tune that was? We were just playing these little voicings right here, and we're transposing them, and then something I played made me think of a tune. Anybody know? It's Duke Ellington. I'll give you that hint. And while I'm waiting on you to take a guess, take some Duke Ellington guess, anybody watching. So I did this, D half diminished, and I was doing voice leading, so I'm hearing, bye. da. No, it wasn't that. That's satin doll, right? Take another guess. No, that would be this. Good guesses, though. All right, one more guess. It's a ballad. No, that would be this. That's a great tune, though. That's a great tune. Yeah, good try, Max. That was a good one. Yeah, in a sentimental mood. The tune that I was playing is or was Prelude to a Kiss. Anyway, so many good Duke Ellingtons. I love the music of Duke Ellington. And playing just one of these, it made me think of that kind of harmony. Yeah, Prelude to a Kiss. I knew you knew it. Even from the visual standpoint, guys, of getting this idea of 2/5, like that's major minor, D minor 9 to G13. That's 2/5/1, right? And that's pretty accessible there. But just by changing, we got to here, and I said, all right, now take the thumbs down. Now you're in minor. Okay, so Max, I'm just going to call you Max until I find out your name. How to start learning chords? That's a really great question. So one thing I like to do is everything from this. Like I could say right now, Max, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty easy, right? And if I said take the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I said Max, take 3 of the C scale and take the 6 and the 9 of that. So 3, 6, 9. It makes this interval the shape of 4 notes away from each other. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Right? Now, for my more experienced players, you're going to play that in all keys. But for Max, he's just going to go and do this. In your right hand, you're going to do the 5th note with your thumb. So 5th note of C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, and you play that note. Then you're going to play the 7th note, and then you're going to play the 9th note, and then you'll play the 5th note on top. So we have a formula. 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9, 5. Notice that in my right hand, it's just a G major triad. Okay? So listen how nice this sounds. If I play a nice C in the bass, and I play Max's C major voicing, how nice is that? This is step 1. Now, for my more experienced players, you could take that one voicing and put it in different keys. But for Max, he's just going to do that. 3, 6, 9. Now, what's so nice about this particular one little shape of 4 notes away from each other, if I play that in my right hand, just know that there's some things coming down the road where you use lots of different patterns, including this one right here. It's called it's the interval of 4th, E up to A, E, F, G, A in the alphabet, A, B, C, D. And this kind of sound, as you get more familiar with chords, you start to learn how these voicings, I can play a whole blues where I'm just doing these 3 notes, and I go da 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 da. Notice that my right hand hasn't changed. 3 and 4. Now same thing. 2 and 3 and 4, 2 and 3 and 4. So I'm doing the interval of G, C, and F. Isn't that an amazing thing that you can do? You sound like a jazz pro and you're not even doing hardly anything. All right, now, that's step one, but I have one thing that's even easier. Hey, Vicky, good to see you, as always. If I take a very simple C triad, and this is from the Chord Academy, and I say D minor triad, in my right hand I'm going to go down a whole step, and I play a C major over that. Now, doesn't that sound like butter right there? D minor 11. So here's what I want Max, Rick, or Vicky to do is just yell out random notes. Let's do a real-time training on this, of how easy it is to sound like $1,000,000. All right, Max says D. So if I say D, well, we just did it. So D minor, and I'm going to put a C in the bass. That gives me a D minor 11. I'm sorry, C major in the right hand, D minor in the left hand. So 2 triads. Now, if you take this to the next level, watch this. I can do D minor, and that's a D minor 11 voicing. If I rearrange the notes, and now I have a spread out D minor with a C major in the right hand, listen how beautiful that chord is. 2 triads, D minor and C major. Now, Vicky said A, so A minor chord, and go down a whole step and play a G major triad. There it is right there. So I could respace those notes out, where I did A minor with G major in the right hand. Now, even all this fancy nonsense that I'm doing in the right hand is just G major. Restacking the notes. Rick says G minor. There's my minor chord, F major. 2 triads. I can space them any way I want to. Okay? Now, I'm going to go over, so if we space that out, and we say, all right, G minor with F major, now we have that beautiful scale right there. And all I'm thinking is F major over that. So G minor with F major. Now, I want to give you guys a very, very important tip. And this is from the gospel world, but it's nothing that I've invented or anything. This is just an obvious kind of scenario. We're talking about building chords and things. So from the world of the gospel world, if you have this D minor triad, okay, in the same way we just said, you can take D minor triad and play a C major. And that sounds like butter. Everybody knows it. If I take C major and play a C major triad, you can invert it, put the bottom on the top, now you have a first inversion. You invert it again, you have a second inversion triad. If you invert it again, it's a root position triad. So C, E, G, C, E, G. Same thing on minor. D minor, invert it, put the bottom on the top, now you have D minor in first inversion. Invert it again, you have D minor in second inversion. Anybody who knows me knows my favorite inversion are the second inversion triads. I love the sound of them, and I'll harmonize one of those in just a minute. But I want you to take this idea of putting a D octave in the bass. In your right hand, you're going to play a C triad and then a D minor triad. Then you'll do that in inversion, C in first inversion. So I did this, and then I'll do a D minor in first inversion. So just 3 notes, C, E, G, to a minor chord, D, F, A. Invert it. Now you have a first inversion C chord, E, G, C, and then F, A, D. 3 notes from a D major. And then you do it again, second inversion C triad to a D minor. Now, this is important because you start to hear that sound, and all I'm doing is alternating 2 triads. C with D, C, D, and I can go up and down the scale. Okay, now that's sort of a step one, and that works for vocal harmonies as well. Whenever you hear somebody singing and they're a lot of time harmonizing the pentatonic scale, that's these ideas of like singing C major with D minor is a really nice sound to do. It works for obviously harmonies, but also vocal harmonies as well. Of using the 1 and the minor 2 is a really nice little trick. Okay, now I wanted to harmonize this. If you say a C7 in a bluesy context, you have a C major scale, no sharps, no flats, and you have a C7 which has a flat 7. If I harmonize this with a C chord in second inversion, I'm going up the scale, D minor, C7. Yeah, that's right. So I want to address something that Max said, is that if just thinking in triads, you can get so much done, right? And that's why I love the idea. It's a good friend of mine that is a really fantastic piano player. I remember asking him a long time ago, if you're teaching somebody, what's the main thing that you would teach them? And I was expecting some really cool and creative answer. And he said triads. And I've never forgotten that, because he's right, that to play anything fancy that you really like and that other people like, often it's built on triads. I mean, how cool is it that I said these two triads together? Listen to that, or spread it out. And then if I said, okay, well, let's harmonize this scale, triad. And I go triad, D minor, that's a C7, but then I go triad, minor triad, major triad. So I can use all that for blues. Triad. Triad. Triads. Triads. Isn't that amazing? All right, does that help answer your question? The way you start doing chords, Max, is by using formulas. You learn your major scales, and then you learn your formulas. Even from a blues context, what I just was doing there, I said, all right, to make the most simple chord there is, you say a 2-note chord, your third and your 7. Your third note of the scale says whether or not it's a major chord or a minor chord. Your 7th note says whether or not it's a major happy sound or a dominant, a bluesy kind of thing. So even at iMusic Academy, we do things like this. If I said, all right, Max, 3, flat 7, and 9, and I do this bass line triad in the left hand. And all that is 2 notes, E and B flat. You're welcome for that, Max. We can clearly hear that that's C major. That sound, I mean, C7 chord. It sounds kind of bluesy to me. Bum, up. Very simple chord. And when I go to the 4 chord, 2 notes outline that chord, and it's just a formula, 3 and flat 7 of the C scale. And the trick is when I go to the F chord, I go flat 7, 3 of the F scale. So they flip-flop. They're also called guide tones, 2 notes, 2 notes. And then when you go to the G chord, it's flat 7 of G scale to the 3rd, and then that. Two notes. That's right. That's right, Rick. So guide tones are, I mean, that exactly what it says. When we first learn our 3-note voicings, which we do all the time in the academy, is you say, all right, I could play a blues where I'm playing these 3 notes in the right hand in the bass line, or a boogie woogie style, or this with that chord, but I could do trio voicings in the left hand, 3, flat 7, 9. But I want you to notice that when I change from this chord, C9, to F13, these 2 notes go down a half step. And what it's doing, Rick, is it's flip-flopping. It says 3 and flat 7, goes down a half step, and now you have flat 7, 3 of whatever scale you're on. So guide tones help us get from one chord to the next in a very smooth fashion. And that's what's so nice about it. I use 2 and 3 notes all the time. You could use 4 notes in your voicings, but 2 notes are great, and so are 3 notes. Really nice. And the trick to make them sound good is just get used to going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and get some kind of rhythm going like that. And you can even slow it down and do the first 5 notes of the blues scale. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Yeah, Rick, you may already know this, but one of my favorite things to do is to help people lock up the hands. We've been doing a lot of Ray Charles in the academy, and so I always write everything out. But what I love to do is, like, you can take a pattern, what I just demonstrated, and did this, where you go 1 and 2 and. The and of 2 gets that F sharp. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. You can play it slow and straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So, and we've been doing a lot of Ray Charles stuff lately. And these licks, like... and then put that... Same thing on F. On G. Those are so good for the fingers, and also learning how to slide back and forth. Like, the original idea is in the key of E, but we've been practicing doing, you have your flat 5th to your 5th note with this kind of down home fingering, but you can also use that minor 3rd to major 3rd, or this. Once you learn a lick like that, then you put it with your right hand or your bass line. Or all right, let's go about 5 more minutes. Ask away of any questions that you have. I'm really excited with all this happening in our academy and the Chord Academy too. And I've been putting a lot of extra trainings in there for you guys that like to work and go through all keys, while also understanding that we have a lot of beginners too in our music academy, and we have them in the Chord Academy, as well as some really experienced players as well. Awesome. Yeah, Rick. I actually I made some really cool voice memos today that will help you with that. Yeah, start with the 2/5 at first. Oh, and something really important, Rick, as I'm winding this lesson down, is remember how we did this morning, where I said the first three notes of the loop for this week we did in a couple different keys, right? And I said, all right, there's your C major. And I was showing you guys this idea of the anchor note. So my top note, da 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 da, and I did ba da da da. And what I was doing there is this idea of 3, 4, 5. Do you remember that from this morning, Rick? I love to do that. If we're in D minor in my notes, I can use B flat if I want to, but I'm going to go ba da da. I'm always thinking about my voice singing da da da. Now watch this da 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 da. So even though I'm playing those chords, I'm definitely thinking melody. Yeah, Rick, you remember it. Awesome. Da da da. So you go da 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 or da da da. And what was really nice about that is we did it in the key of G minor as well. And we said, all right, how do you get there? Well, you know that the top note's going to anchor up, go up a whole step. Bottom two notes are going to go down. So we have this da 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 da. And then what do we say? Up a minor third. And then we do the same thing. Very cool. All right, Rick's getting it. Yeah, Rick, I love that all the time. Like whatever voicing I'm working on, I'll go 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Of course, Rick. Always good to see you. Hey, Max, thanks for hanging out. If anybody is hanging out, you're watching it, and you're like, what in the world is he even talking about? Chord Academy or iMusic Academy? I will give you the quick breakdown one more time. Is that we have about 22-ish people that are signed up for the Chord Academy. About maybe even about half or over half are a member of the iMusic Academy, which is the all-inclusive thing, and that's like investing one lesson a month with me. That's actually a little bit less than one lesson a month with me. And for those people, they've been with me for years, and I continue to have a couple people switched over. Tom switched over to join us, as well as Carl recently. But and so then Chord Academy is just included as a part of that. But the difference between Chord Academy, it's just all about chords. iMusic Academy is every course I own. It's blues, jazz. It's all the new courses that aren't even out yet. It's the Christmas stuff. It's tons of stuff, but it's not going to overwhelm you because we're constantly going over this stuff. Repetition is your friend. I go live with them on Mondays, Thursdays, and they also have access to the Chord Academy as well. So that's investing one lesson a month with me. And then for my Chord Academy members is just kind of chords. It's not like here's how you play this song, that chord, here's Ray Charles, all that. No, it's just about chords and learning how to transpose and different things. But it's also a really fun community. Like Rick's a part of that, and I'm looking for the next person to want to join us. I made it as affordable as possible. It's like $5 or even a little bit less than $5. So I hope that you will, somebody else will consider it. The next right person. If it's not for you, that's fine too. Thank you for hanging out today, and I hope that you learned something from this crazy lesson. Rick, I will see you ready to go on Tuesday, if not sooner. And Max, really cool hanging out with you. If I can always help any of you in any way, I never want to be somebody who sells anything. I do sell courses, and I do encourage people to join the membership, but that's all on you. You do whatever's right for you. And so, other than that, thank you for supporting iMusic Academy Me. You have 30 seconds to say goodbye to each other, and then I'll see you guys in the next lesson. See you, everyone.